Hi, I'm Marcus from Brew Interactive and
I'm Aaron from HubSpot.
And today in this video, we'll talk about 6 ways to capture more leads for free, or maybe actually 5 ways to capture more leads for free. But anyway, let's go to the first one, right?
Yeah.
So it's the first tip is to use time delay pop-ups. So, well, pop-ups can be a really annoying thing because every time you first land on the site, you get like spam with pop-ups that are more often than not like irrelevant for your business. But using time delay pop-up is something that is super helpful because you know that once they spend maybe up to 15-second or 30-second long onto your website, then they see the pop-up. Now the trick is when actually do you put in the how long should the time delay should be? 5 second, 10, 15, 20 second? Well, here's the trick. So if you already have Google Analytics installed on your website, you can then know based on your conversion journey, like what is the average amount of time that people spend on your homepage, for example, if that's where you want to install a pop-up, right? So if your average amount of time that people spend on your website is maybe 25 seconds long or 1 minute long, so then you want to have the pop-up to appear just below the average, right? So that you can capture people just before they want to leave your website or leave a contact form on your website. So that's a little trick that you can have over there. So that's number 1. Tip number 2 is to add call to actions on your high traffic pages. So again, on GA, you can see which are your high traffic pages. And then you want to be able to add like call to action buttons over there, maybe at the bottom right or the top right, where every time you scroll down the page, you can still see the call to action button over there. I find that that technology has always been available, but just that marketers are not fully using it for whatever reason. So I just want to bring it up to your awareness. Now, third tip, this is pretty cool. I just recently discovered it, and we've started using it ourselves as well, is to integrate whatever CRM that you're using with this fantastic tool called Clearbit. So what Clearbit does is that, let's say your contact form on your website just collects maybe name, email, phone number, and that's pretty much about it. With Clearbit, what it then does is that it looks at the email address, the domain of the email address of the lead that's opted into your form, and then it would go out and source for like across, I think, 86 different data sources of where how well the company is doing, right? So, you get revenue information, you get employee size, all this kind of very cool information, so that then you can then go and define whether this is a lead that's worth calling or not calling. And you can also add certain lead scoring features into it as well. Maybe, if the company size is more than 50, which is your ideal customer range, then this is where you can add, more points to such leads if you are, in the process of setting up a manual lead scoring process. So that is 3 tips from me.
Yeah, I think the 4th tip, which is really important, is to turn your blog content into content offering, right? So,
or downloadable content offering,
downloadable content offering. So when we say downloadable, meaning it can be gated. It could be like instantly released with some contact details being filled in. But for all of you who are writing content, don't let your heart, sweat, tears, don't put them in waste, right? You spend a lot of time and effort, right, writing it, and put it onto a blog, and then just there, right, without the ability to track it, right? It sounds crazy, right? But you will come across a lot of websites with a blog post over there, and people just consume that, and then that's it. There's no call to action. It's not gated. Hence, you won't be able to track all these visitors whenever they come back to your website, which is really, really important. And for those that have not started writing content, you're never too late. Do engage a content agency or Brew Interactive, for example, to write some content for you to start building that thought leadership. Again, we are all consumers. Whenever we try to buy something or engage a service, we go online and the first thing we search is recommendation or referral, right? So all this content that you put up on blog or any of your or any corner of your any areas of your website, it becomes really important, right? So our tips over here is make sure that you turn this content into what we call content offering, meaning people will need to fill up certain details before the content is being released or being sent to you, which is really crucial because then you'll get the data in return and then you'll be able to start tracking them, and whenever you retarget them, you'll be able to send them relevant content thereafter, right? Which is super crucial. I think the last thing, the 5th tip that we want to talk about over here is to build content offers with influencers in your industry that you have identified, and then get them to share it.
That's a good idea.
All right. So you might ask, like, how do I do it? How do I find my influencers? Right? So you could easily identify your call, meaning your key opinion leader, through a social media platform. So it can be as as basic as Social Baker. It could be like a tool like Hootsuite, for example, right? Where you are able to instantly track the hashtag. You'll be able to instantly track the trending themes that each social member on Facebook, on Twitter, etc. are talking about. And then based on the keywords and key topics, you'll be able to then nail down that influencers list. Right? The next thing that you need to do then is to add them as a connection, as a friend into your network.
Very important.
Right? Very important. And then the next thing, the last step would be you starting to share your content, knowing that they have interest in writing about topics that you are in, right? Be it your product, be it your services, so that they could reshare your content, or you could do this the reverse way. You can share the content they share. Right?
That's true.
So it works both ways when it comes to sharing with influencers, because you guys share the same type of target audience, and target audience that following you guys will get a lot of value in return, and that build up a lot of credibility for your brand as well.
Great. So thank you for watching this video.
Thank you.